Tokenmetrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.
Hi, everybody. We are live. Welcome to the Tokenmetrics Black Friday birthday live stream. Master Polka Kid, welcome. Taz, Elon Musk, Yams, first on the stream. I'm your host, Bill Noble, and I'm joined by my esteemed colleagues, Tokenmetrics CEO Ian Bellina and Forrest. Gentlemen, happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday. Hope you all have lots of turkey and gravy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Texas barbecue style Thanksgiving. Southerners know how to cook. Hope everybody out there is not only enjoying their holiday, but enjoying some of the profits we hinted at taking, and now may be a reinvestment shopping day. So, as a reminder, today's live stream is brought to you by tokenmetrics.com. Today is a Black Friday sale day, starting today out until Cyber Monday. So, Ian, do you want to give them some of the details on that now, or do you want to wait till after?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, absolutely. So, as a show of appreciation to our crypto family, to our Tokenmetrics family, and to also celebrate a 2-year anniversary. Yes, not one, but 2 years, 2-year birthday of Tokenmetrics. We're giving a very special Black Friday discount code that gets you 40% off of Tokenmetrics if you join for 12 months. That's 1 year. Not monthly plan, but the annual plan, 40% off. That is a huge discount. Thank you for all the support. We would not be where we are without you. So the coupon code when you go to checkout is Happy B-Day 40. That's HAPPY BDAY 40, which gets you 40% off Tokenmetrics if you join the annual plan. This applies for all plans. So definitely go to Tokenmetrics right now and join, because if you're a customer now, this is the best time to join. Happy holidays.
All right. Thank you, Ian. Now, ladies and gentlemen, just as a reminder, Tokenmetrics, to help serve you better, actually has a lower priced basic plan than we did a year ago. We did that because we wanted to make getting our rankings and just getting your foot in the door in crypto easier and cheaper. So before you go out and spend money on dinner at the Cheesecake Factory, consider investing that money in Tokenmetrics. Now, speaking of money, if you need a roadmap in crypto and you need to make money in crypto, stay with us and Tokenmetrics. Now, one thing I want to get going right away while the market is dipping is your market update. Shopping on stopping. It was a hallmark of 2020 during both American or Western holidays, Thanksgiving and near Christmas, the market to sort of wash itself out. And wouldn't you know, my friend Forrest's idea of buying good projects at good entry points and my colleague Ian's idea of value investing would be applicable on our birthday live stream. So let's start with the dollar. This whole idea that the dollar should go up, which is sort of laughable. The idea that interest rates were going to go up next year in a congressional election year, equally laughable. And not so funny, news about a variant of the virus, okay, which frankly has been out in the news, but governments have started to react with travel restrictions. What does that mean? Well, this whole idea of, party all the time and everything was okay is not true. More central bank support is going to be required, okay? And interest rates today are reflecting that. Now, you're probably asking, isn't that supposed to be good for crypto? And you're like, why is crypto down today? Well, crypto's down today because when portfolio managers get upset and they sell equities, crypto kind of goes along with it. Right? It's like if your dog barks, the neighbor's dog barks. Right? So when they sell one thing, they sell everything. Now that provides you with a Black Friday shopping opportunity. Now, undoubtedly, you'll hear people saying that all over the place. The question is, where is the opportunity? Is there another leg to the dip? And what is the most intelligent trade to do? In other words, if everybody is offering a sale, which store do you go to? So let's start with Bitcoin, right? Forrest have been talking about 53, 54K. It's exactly where we are today. We'd also seen some other research from a sort of a bigger institution hinting that 54K was possible because of things related to what goes on for the Bitcoin ETF. Now, without going into the details, the bottom line is we're at 54K. Could there be another nasty flush? Could they take it to 52 and panic everybody? The answer to that is yes. So I guess if you miss Bitcoin, you could get in. However, I really think Bitcoin is more of a January trade. So it could bounce, but I think capital is best deployed elsewhere. Now, Galaxy Digital. I think if you're going to play Bitcoin or play crypto and you don't want to get destroyed, right? Galaxy Digital stock may, keyword may, be the way to go. So the question is the recent drop in Galaxy Digital a top like back in April, or is it a buying opportunity after going from 23 to 44? I'm leaning towards buying opportunity. Galaxy is involved heavily in gaming. A lot of people blew off the stock because of that. So I think if you missed the metaverse and you might want to buy Bitcoin, Galaxy may be a better play. Now let's talk about Ethereum. At 4,500, it looks like it's going to the moon. At 4,000, it looks like it's going to zero. Most likely, it's going to continue to gravitate back towards 4,200. Worst case scenario is 3,600. I think if you absolutely do not know what to do in crypto and you have a crypto account, okay, not investment advice, but I don't think you're going to get destroyed holding spot ETH. I wouldn't buy it on a big green up day, but ETH is the premier layer one, and one day you are going to wake up and ETH is going to be off to the races, particularly versus Bitcoin. So if ETH goes to 4K or 3,600, that would be a buying opportunity for what I would call plain vanilla crypto investors. Now, a brief word from Legacy. U.S. 10-year note yields breaking out of the bottom of a diamond formation. That means interest rates most likely have topped. Okay, this whole idea of higher rates with a pandemic and an election year seems false. This is good for crypto and it's good for speculation or the speculative parts of crypto, because higher rates back in 2018 were one of the things that created the bear market. So with rates lower, it's one less thing to worry about in crypto. The question is, what sector do you get in crypto? Now, DeFi perp futures contract, essentially a universe of ETH-based DeFi coins, to me looks terrible. So I would say you want to be long metaverse or short or not involved in DeFi. Maybe the only exception in traditional DeFi might be Chainlink. I think DeFi is going to move over to Avalanche, and owning Avalanche or related coins, layer ones, is the way to play DeFi going forward. Okay, it certainly isn't, in my mind, holding any type of, ETH-based DeFi coin. Chainlink, as I was saying, Chainlink at 37 looks like it's going to the moon and it tops. And at 23, it looks like it's going to zero at the bottom end of the range. And that's how you play Chainlink, right? So if you want to do DeFi and you don't want to get killed for plain vanilla investor, and by the way, that's not a slight. If you want to buy and hold or trade a range and learn crypto, not everybody can take a trip to sort of the advanced parts of crypto right away. So take a look at Chainlink. Now, speaking of a reminder of learning in crypto, okay, Elrond, the profit-taking risk management lecture, okay, when things go vertical, okay, especially if it's a mature uptrend and it's been going on for a while, just a reminder, Elrond overshoots 466, goes to 526, and then comes off hard. Take profits at resistance on the way up, pay yourself, take half the money off the table. You can always reinvest on a dip, right? Nobody thought there was going to be a dip 3 days ago, and now look, everything's down 10, 20%. Okay, speaking of down, Avalanche hitting the 50% retracement of its recent move up. That's right around 100. Okay, so that's good support, and it's bouncing. All right, an ABC correction, so down, up, down, is usually a good sign that the correction in Avalanche is over. This is a 4-hour chart. If the correction in Avalanche is not over, they might be able to wash it down to 80. Okay, now that seems a little harsh because I can only imagine where the rest of the market is. If Avalanche is at 80, that probably puts Bitcoin at 46K. So I'm guessing if you missed out on Avalanche and you look at the screen and go, wow, this is scary, that sense that, ooh, I'm afraid. That's usually a point where you would want to own something, okay? Not investment advice. So if Avalanche dips to 100 or 80, okay, that is probably the buy zone. 62% retracement, not marked on the chart, is at 90. So if there's some sort of additional stop fishing exercise over the weekend, that's the time to get into Avalanche. Good projects at good entry points. I'm not going to still force whole presentation. Okay, Polkadot, I liked it at 38, so I've got to love it at 33. Everybody sees the same thing, and then everyone gets stopped out. This is shopping on stopping. Okay, Near Protocol, another classic example of patience. I really thought $9.20 was going to hold. Everybody seems to like this trade. And then all of a sudden, everyone gives up. And where does it go? To the support point that I mentioned, that because it's a daily show, I basically stopped talking about it. But the real support, the real entry level for this was 8. And look what happened. If you were patient, you got 8 as everyone got stopped out, right? Everyone who likes it gives up, all right? And then what happens when it turns and everybody who likes it piles back in? That's how trends develop. Normally they develop when the people who like it give up, and that's the bottom. Now, switching to some of the bigger metaverse coins, Illuvium, play for ETH, takes off from 1,000 to 1,600 as we discussed on prior market updates. Then it comes back down and tests support at 1,335. Okay, in these coins, buy dips until proven wrong. So in the title of the stream, we talk about, 10 metaverse coins for the dip. This would certainly be one of them to look at. So non-investment advice, but play for ETH. A lot of things out there involve you giving your ETH to somebody. This is a way to actually get ETH by playing. Okay, crypto.com, another humbling example of what happens when something goes parabolic and can't get through resistance. I looked at this thing at 93 cents and I'm like, oh my God, it's going to go through. And sure enough, it didn't. It didn't, because it looks like it was going to the moon. And what happens when it looks like it's going to the moon and you want to wear a lampshade on your head? You sell. You sell. And you move into another trade. Or you get into that trade on a dip. I suspect that money is best put elsewhere. Sheeb, in case you were wondering on what everybody was talking about at Thanksgiving at the dinner table, all right, SHIB hits the 62% retracement of its big uptrend and bounces. Today, they're hitting it again, but it looks like people want to buy SHIB. Is money best put elsewhere? Probably. Is that going to stop people from wanting to buy this on the dip? Probably not. Probably not. All right. So if speculative juices return, SHIB could go back up again. But honestly, this is not the mega trend. This is an example of what happens, okay, when everyone jumps on a trade at the same time. And I think SHIB price action and all the people who miss SHIB are going to wind up buying Metaverse coins. A brief note from Legacy as to how the stock market is impacting crypto. Okay, a huge move up in the fear index. Now, what happens when everyone gets afraid in equities? The Fed prints money. So this idea of tapering, as of today, as far as I'm concerned, given this fear spike, is laughable, and that is good for crypto. So 10 coins for the 10 coins on the dip. Algorand may be one of those 10 coins. Okay, there was a huge spike up. Now it's come back down to support at $1.60. Buy good projects at good entry points. So it looks like people were giving up on Algorand, and this is a very underrated layer one. Is it super sexy? Not really, but it could be, particularly if you want to add something together with Metaverse coins. All right, now, another reminder about how long this correction could last. The Coinbase IPO came out and Bitcoin went down for 3 months. And when Legacy and Bitcoin interact, you can get corrections. So rather than a 3-month correction, this could be a 3-week correction, and it could last another 2 days. So if there's another flush in Bitcoin lower, that could be an opportunity to get involved in the metaverse. Speaking of the metaverse, let's start tracking down the coins, right? Like in the title that we're talking about buying on the dip. Now, it's really easy, like last week, to get on stream and go, oh yeah, this is going up, 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 along with everybody else. It's much harder in a mega trend to buy a dip in illiquid environments, not knowing whether or not it's got another leg lower. The harder the trade is to do, the more you should do it. So if it feels too easy, it could be a trap. In other words, use your own internal mechanism along with token metrics rankings. Let's talk about this. Metaverse Index traded on Uniswap. I have our quant team looking into the constituents of this index, meaning the things that make up the index, so we can continue to chart it. Illuvium is the #1 holding. 323 in the Metaverse Index is support. It came down. It ran stops below it. Upside level on this could be 655. Just as a note, MVI is tradable on Uniswap. So if we're looking for, 10 coins for shopping on Metaverse days, this definitely could be one of them. Decentraland. Okay, I talked a lot in all of these streams about consolidation around support and resistance levels. And if you get consolidation around, say, 5, and you get dips below 5 in Decentraland, I believe that could be an opportunity to get in for an attack of 6. Now, I guess if Decentraland and the whole market gets wrecked, it could go back to support at 337. All right. What I would do is if I buy Decentraland, I'm going to buy it just below 5 and put the stop at, say, 325. Right. I'm going to say I'm going to risk, $1.50. And my upside level, the biggest upside level I have for Decentraland on a chart is 20. So 10 coins, okay, for the shopping list, Decentraland is probably one of those coins. Sandbox, very similar. Okay, I last week I said take some money off the table in Sandbox, okay, and think about allocating that money elsewhere. Now, okay, Sandbox didn't really back off, but you've got capital to either go back into Sandbox or buy another Metaverse coin that's more beat up. So naturally, Sandbox would be on the list of 10 coins for the Metaverse, okay? Because if Sandbox takes out 8, it's most likely going to 12 or higher, okay? That said, it will never hurt you. The Wall Street model is you will never get fired taking profits. Now, somebody did say in the comments when I did the saying about bulls money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered, somebody did say pigs are making a ton of money in the Metaverse as they are in Vulcan. All right, I get it. You can ride the trend. You can ride the trend. But did you have a better holiday knowing that you took some profits, you paid yourself, you were grateful for your good decision, and now you can shop on Red Friday in the Metaverse? Okay, Gala, you know what? You got to be quick on this stuff, folks. You can tell where they want to buy. You know, Gala started at 74 cents, wicked down to 60, and went straight back. The next level I got on this is $1.25, and there's a level much higher than that. If Gala continues to show up in our indices, okay, in other words, Token Metrics has rankings, and then we take the rankings and make indices to make it easier for you to find, you know, which are the best trades or the best portfolios to have. Gala continues to show up in portfolios. And again, folks, that's not just Metaverse portfolios. That's all, those portfolios are made from whole groupings of coins. So Gala has been showing up day after day. And if we're talking about 10 coins for the Metaverse, this has to be one of them, because everybody knows, everybody out there, the big players, they got this chart drawn and they're looking to buy the dip. So when this thing went down, they were there. Okay, now let's talk about Token Metrics rankings. So I've been on and on about this during the market update, which is on every day on, you know, this YouTube channel. So this would be a good time to tell you, to strongly encourage you, to politely push you to like the stream, subscribe, share, and tell your friends. It's like, hey, guys, you know, quarantine may be coming. We got to get into Metaverse 2.0. Let's not talk about stuff that's morbid. Let's talk about something exciting. How to learn the Metaverse. Well, guess what? Where else are you going to go on the web where you can go to one place and see, oh, look, I'm going to search Metaverse Coins and KuCoin. Or I'm going to search Metaverse Coins at Uniswap. By the way, the Uniswap list I checked this morning for Metaverse Coins is twice as long. And I think in the Metaverse, more choices for more research is better. You got time off at the holidays? Research the Metaverse. Okay, so let's look at our Metaverse coins. On the left, you know, you've got AVAX at a market cap rank in the top left at 323. Illuvium is still not in the top 100. Okay, and Vulcan Forged hit Binance today, and it's still at 167 on the market cap chart. So if you have coins like, say, Starlink, that their token metrics grade is actually going up on a down day, that's something to look at. If stuff stays above 80, that's something to look at if it stays above 80 on a dip. Even if something that's going way up, if it corrects a lot, but the score is still, say, above 70, that's also something to look at. So when you wake up in the morning, all right, and you want to know what to do in the Metaverse, folks, it's right here. Because guess what I do when I wake up in the morning? Right here, first thing. Okay, the list goes on, right? Engine Coin, okay, Polka City, Binamon, Decentraland. Decentraland is actually lower on the list than other Metaverse coins. It's actually got room to improve its ranking. Not just its market cap, but its token metrics ranking. So imagine what happens. Imagine what could happen if Decentraland pumps all the way to the top end of the rankings, or if a Decentraland pump brings all these other coins, like smaller coins like, Red Fox or IOI with it. In other words, you have to be able to look at these numbers and say, what do I want to research? What do I want to buy? When do I want to buy it? That indication is both on this YouTube channel and on these rankings, which you can get today for 40% off. Now, portfolios. I'm told that this is the most popular slide when I show portfolios. It's the daily index for the Kraken exchange. So that means our portfolio, our mathematics, our AI source all the coins on Kraken, and every day comes up with the coins of the day. And what I notice is that when a coin shows up day after day after day, that's a sign that that coin could be in a mega uptrend. Sandbox has been in this index the entire time on the way up. This Sandbox has probably been in this since Sandbox was at or below 2. Avagochi shows up every day, and Engine Coin and Ethereum are now in there. Okay. The second thing I do every day before I look at the rankings is I check all the portfolios which range across Binance, KuCoin, Coinbase, and we have daily, weekly, and monthly. In other words, one of the best reasons to jump on the Black Friday sale is at the end of this month, we will get new Token Metrics monthly indices. So if you want to play the metaverse for, say, a 3-month trade, right? If you want to play the metaverse between now and even sell in May and go away next year, if this metaverse trade is either a 1, 3, or 5-month trade, checking out what our monthly indices like after this up move and then correction could help you get on the trade. Because after all, 3 days ago, tell the truth, you thought you missed it. Guess what? You haven't. You haven't. And the thing that can get you on it is on sale today. Now, let's take a look at some altcoins. Flux, something that we're looking at. It's decentralized, data services like Amazon Web Services, and it can give you exposure to more than one layer 1 protocol. So if you can't figure out which layer 1 to do, further research in Flux could help you. I think it's very interesting that this is consolidating below resistance at $2.30. Now, anybody who's been on the stream for an extended period of time knows consolidation below resistance is the dip buying opportunity using a stop. But buying the dip below resistance for the move, that's the big green candle when it breaks out, is the best way to get what? Trade location. Okay. PLA, another possible coin for the top 10 list. Blockchain gaming. Okay. Breaks out, comes back down, support near $2.11. Interesting that when it went up, it couldn't even approach resistance at $3.78, which leads me to believe that if it does turn around and go back up again, it's going to take out 378. UFO gaming, highly speculative thing. I would keep an eye on this on the rankings. Okay. Trades at like fractions of a penny, but I did notice that the dip today brought it back down to a fib extension level near 4 zeros and 39.60. Now, this thing has got a lot of room on the upside on charts if the uptrend restarts. The point of this chart goes like this. Do not underestimate how far a mega trend can go, because again, what happened in UFO? 3 or 4 days of FOMO got wiped out in one day. And bull markets do that. They wipe out everybody who rushes in, okay, which is why you'll hear Forrest say, I heard Forrest say on a webinar, I was like, this can go up, but I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it unless I can get it on a major flush. And I was like, wow, it's like pearls of wisdom from this guy. So if you're looking to get stuff on a flush, today is it. Now, speaking of highly speculative trades, there's Alice. It's a good example. So Alice goes from 12 to 28. It's a metaverse play, and then it kind of hits resistance and comes back down. Is this a dip buying opportunity? Maybe, but you know what? Probably not. Because what you want to do is you want to take profits in spec trades, okay, and move it into higher ranked plays on a dip, right? This is his whole idea about rotation. So yeah, if you go out and speculate, okay, in an IDO or, something that doesn't even have a website yet, or something that's just, generally not in a token metrics ranking or portfolio, okay, that's fine. But when you pay yourself, that's capital that can be put into higher quality coins. Now, Immutable X, ETH layer 2 solution for NFTs, breaks out, looks like it's going to the moon, and then turns around and viciously stops everybody out right around a former ceiling at 7. Okay, what was the title of the market update? Shop on stops. Okay, Immutable X, really interesting project that just stopped everybody out. So if it comes back above $8.11, this goes on the list of top 10 coins for the flush. Okay, Yield Guild Games, another one to consider. This showed up in a lot of our portfolios, kind of got hammered. I'm interested to see if this maintains its ranking. I'm also interested to see if it gets back above the 62% retracement level at 750. Okay, buy stuff that gets destroyed, that's got a good ranking, because now you can buy, theoretically, bulls, if they get involved, can put a stop below 650, right? And a couple days ago, this thing was at 11.5. So again, what goes on the shopping list? Quality stuff that our AI has picked that just got destroyed. Everybody did the same thing and they got washed out. That's all. Has anything changed about this? I doubt it. So, I mean, if there's going to be a mega trend, every speculative thing won't go up. But what may happen in the metaverse is stuff that's higher quality may moon harder and faster. In other words, the speculative stuff may not recover, but that provides more capital and more FOMO for the stuff that's really good. Now, is this on the really good list? I think so. I think this may be higher quality. Again, follow our rankings. Render token. Okay, Monster Moon from $1 to $8.50. Now, one of the ways I use this token is just to say, all right, this mooned with the metaverse, and I say, how's it doing? Do I necessarily want to buy the dip in this? I mean, personally, no. I would rather stick with other metaverse plays that maybe haven't mooned as much, but I like to watch the chart as an indicator. So it may not be a top 10 coin, all right, but it's something to watch because at 6, it looks like people want to buy the dip. It looks like somebody who thinks this is going to 850 or 10 is in. So if you see evidence like those green candles on 4-hour charts, right, where you see people coming in, if they get green candles on top of support, what do I always say? It's not a bull market until you can buy a dip and make money. That's why you want to have the rankings, because on the dip, you want to be able to say, okay, here's a highly ranked coin. Oh, wait, here's a green candle. The bulls came in. The bulls made money. The coin's highly ranked. So what should you do? Cube. Interesting on the 4-hour chart that there is a big green candle in the neighborhood of 17.5. I think if Cube takes out 19, all right, and our AI continues to like this, 34 is a resistance level above the market. So I think this coin belongs on the list of 10 coins you want to look at for the metaverse. Now, more metaverse coins. Vulcan Forged. This is an example of how difficult bull markets can be. Okay, this thing runs up to 30. Everybody on YouTube talks about it. Retail FOMO's in, it goes down, and then turns around and moons on a Binance listing. Now, I have to admit, I don't know if other YouTubers do this, but this is actually a very humbling chart, right? I would have thought you take your money in this, and then off the Binance listing, it just totally breaks out. So if this thing is above support at 30, you can make an argument for 58, right? I mean, especially if it's a top ranked coin. Now, is that a tough trade to do after the extent of this moonshot? Yes, it is. But bull markets can do pain trades where you go, oh my God, I can't possibly get involved in this thing. I'm going to buy the top. That's what I thought at 30. Okay. But as somebody said in the comments, somebody helped me with Sandbox by saying it's never going below 2, and they were right. Some guy said, you know, pigs, people who want to hodl and don't take profits, are making money in the metaverse. So this is a classic example of trends last longer than you think. And even if this thing tops out on the Binance listing, okay, it's an example of you buy the dip until you're proven wrong. Wild, another metaverse play, hitting support around 6. So you were supposed to buy it below resistance, as has been the pattern all year. It breaks out and gives you another chance on a retest. So if Wild holds above 6, it has a shot at 9. And I think this goes on your list of things to look at on the correction. Wax, thought I missed it, right? Thought I missed it twice. This coin is in the Metaverse Index traded on Uniswap. So if 73 cents holds, or they run the stops below 73 cents and then turn around and take it back up, guess what? I think this has got to move into the top 10 or top 15 list of Metaverse coins to think about having, especially if you can get it cheap when stops are being run. Okay. AVAX, same thing, right? High quality stuff, possible mega trend developing. Resistance at 3. It tried to take it out. It came back down. And what's it doing? Consolidating just below resistance. So can you imagine where the metaverse is, where, I don't know, even layer ones like Avalanche are? If this flush continues, or if this flush is over, either way, can you imagine what the market looks like if AVAX goes from 3 to 5.5? Where is the rest of the metaverse if that happens? This has been showing up in our indices for quite a while. Red Fox, another speculative trade that has been highly ranked in the past. Notice how after breaking above 26 cents, after a flush this morning below it, it has come right back. Another coin for the list. Dip buyers are out there. If you see the dip buyers, if you see the candles, they're green or it wicks down and comes back and it's highly ranked, I have confidence that you can use our tools, this YouTube channel, and your own good trading sense. You may be out there going, I don't know if I can do this. I want to do it, but I don't know if I can do it. Let me tell you something. You can definitely do it. You can do it, right? I'm glad you come here for help. I want you to come to our sponsor, tokenmetrics.com, but you can do this, okay? Monsters in the metaverse, bid them up. Why not? If this is highly ranked and it holds above support at 32, this has been a tough trade. This has chopped around hard near 30 cents and probably washed a lot of people out. Now, is this the highest quality coin? I don't know, but I have seen it show up high in our rankings. So what do? Do you buy it when it's absolutely famous, or do you take a shot with a stop and see if it can take out 45 cents or maybe go to $1. Put it on the list, research it, check it out. Soul Gaming, okay? A monster breakout the other day, a dip, and it comes screaming back. This is definitely on the list. People want this thing. I've taken questions about it. Dip buyers are out there. Follow the dip buyers on washouts. Friends, happy holidays to you. Thank you, Token Metrics customers, on our second birthday as we take you down the crypto road to profitability. And that is the market update.
Thanks, Bill. That was an epic market update as usual, guys. If you, I don't know of another YouTube channel or anywhere that gives you that much altcoin technical analysis. That's tremendous value, and I think that alone is worth hitting the subscribe button. Which, by the way, guys, coming up on 100,000 subscribers. We're like 300 subscribers away from 100K subscribers. Imagine how much better you'll feel being one of the first 100K subscribers of Token Metrics versus being one of the second 100K, which will be special too. But imagine being one of the first 100K subscribers on the channel. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure you do that.
And definitely smash the like button and tell a friend to tell a friend. Not being in crypto is a financial crime. Take this live stream and share this with your family. It has been Thanksgiving week here in the US. It's also Black Friday, and it's also a 40% discount on Token Metrics. The discount only lasts from now, Black Friday, until Cyber Monday. So basically, Cyber Monday at 11:59 Eastern Time PM, it ends. So take this video and share with all your friends. Share on all your Telegram groups, on your WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups, Twitter, Discord. Share this video, spread the love. Not being in crypto is a financial crime. All right, so Forrest, what's next?
Yeah, so I'm going to go into my segment, but before I do, I just want to share two things. For one, I'm going to share my screen here. If you want to partake and interact with us on this live stream, go to www.menti.com and use the code 89364890. That's the Menti code. We're going to do Crypto Showdown after my segment here in a few minutes. And we'd love to see what you think about which cryptocurrency you think is going to perform the best in December. Spoiler alert, they're Metaverse coins that we're choosing from. Also, as we've already mentioned, Black Friday, get 40% off. Happy B-Day 40, right? All right, so let's jump into my segment here. And the kind of the title or tagline of my segment is beat the bear market by buying on the trend line, right? Buying on the trend line is how you beat the bull market. Okay, so this is total cryptocurrency market cap. And let me just zoom out to the weekly chart so I can just show you how long this trend line has been in play. A major trend line. And ignore the wicks down here, right? This is CoinTrader Pro. There's going to be some bad prints here. We're all the way up here at about $2.46 trillion. And historically throughout crypto, the best time to accumulate crypto, Bitcoin, altcoins, whatever, is when we touch this long-term trend line, right? Right now, we're nowhere near it because we're in a bit of a bubble. But what's the next best thing? Buying the bull market trend line, right? This is like where you buy. This trend line is where you buy in a bear market, right? All of these points were bear markets. But within a bull market, if you're trying to trade or build a position, right, for a narrative, and to continue growing your portfolio, what's the next best thing to buy? The bull market trend line, right? So we had the COVID pandemic that crashed all markets, not just crypto. Crypto was one of the fastest markets to bounce back. And within this bull market, where's been the best time to buy? Well, on this trend line, it's the lowest risk place to buy. And crypto's given us another chance today on Black Friday to buy on this trend line. Why is it the lowest risk place to buy? Well, while this trend line could break, right? It could break. There's always that chance that we go into a bear market. If this market holds, we're at 0 days to fair value. What I mean by fair value is 0 days for our trend line support to catch up to the point at which we're buying. Meaning if we bought this peak, the same level, $2.46 trillion in total cryptocurrency market cap, if we bought here in May, right, it's taken us 202 days to get back to the same level. It's at the same level it was that we peaked at, $2.5 trillion. But now you can buy it on the trend line at the same level and not wait 200 days for this trend line to provide support and kick us back upwards, right? Like I said, we could go lower, absolutely. Trend lines get broken all the time, but trend lines are phenomenal support, especially in a bull market. And if we expect this bull market to continue, we expect support here before we return to the middle or top of our range, right? So by having the mental fortitude, the emotional fortitude to actually buy these dips, this is where you get paid. If you bought the last dip to $1.8 trillion, you've almost doubled your money. You're up at least 50%, as long as you're investing in good projects, which token metrics will help you do, right? If you bought this dip back here at $1.3 trillion, you've doubled your money, right? Because the total cryptocurrency market cap has doubled. And if you invested in good projects back here, you've far more than doubled your money in about 3 days. Now, I want to briefly take a look at altcoin market cap. And yes, there are some messy wicks here, but you can generally see the pattern. This is altcoin market cap dominance. We're in a situation where really two things can happen. We've been consolidating in this pattern since Bitcoin crashed the market back in May. Now, I want to draw your attention to the last bull market, 2017. We had two very distinct alt seasons with a big consolidation correction in between. So far this market cycle, we've had one alt season, just one big alt season. That started at January of this year. Started at the beginning of the year. It ran until May. Bitcoin crashed, and we've been consolidating since. Bitcoin and altcoins have been consolidating since. Now we've got this huge metaverse momentum trade going on. And yeah, that's brought us back up to the top of this range. But what could very well happen is us breaking out of this range, making support on top of it, and us seeing a second alt season like we did back in 2017, in which case things are going to get really, really out of hand. They're also going to be very, very exciting. Now, the other scenario that could happen is that we just return back down to the bottom of this consolidation pattern, meaning altcoin dominance is dropping, Bitcoin dominance is rising. Could be in the form of Bitcoin rising very quickly or Bitcoin washing out altcoins. I personally think that this is far more likely, that we see a second alt season. People are getting very, very emotional with their buying behavior towards metaverse projects. I think the metaverse trade could be what propels us into a second alt season. Now, I want to touch on Bitcoin here, right? And I want to touch on Bitcoin because we know that Bitcoin, even like Bitcoin has to act in a healthy manner for us to have an alt season. At least historically it has, right? So if Bitcoin crashes, alt season's kind of off the table. Yeah, will there be some individual altcoins that'll probably pump from here and there just based on like big news happening? Yeah, but if Bitcoin crashes and we go into a Bitcoin bear market, things aren't going to look so great for altcoins. I want to show you the fractal that's been playing out on Bitcoin and what I think is going to continue to play out, right? So we had this fractal here, right? I'm just going to place this. This is where I got it from July 19th to our correction on the 30th of September. Bitcoin popped up to 53K, came back down to our long-term trend line, the green trend line here. An incredible entry point for Bitcoin. You bought this trend line, right? Then what's happened? If we just move this fractal up, you can see it's showing us that's what Bitcoin's been doing. It's been following this fractal. And what would occur if we continue to see this fractal play out would be a big consolidation bounce between 53 and 60K. consolidation before a breakout upwards. Now, if I move this red fractal out of the way and I just show you that this is the exact same fractal, just shows you the next step of what's going to happen. And we place this over here again, right? The same exact fractal. You get a bounce at 53K, which we know is very strong support. It's a big margin pressure level. We break through our resistance here at 58 to 60K, reclaim 60K, reclaim the all-time high, and move up higher to $80,000+, maybe $90,000 if we see this play out completely, right? And not only has this fractal been playing out, it's been playing out to a T in terms of the corrections, right? From 53K down to 39.6, it was a 24% correction. Right? If we end up falling all the way down to 52.7, 53K, which I think we absolutely could, we're sitting at 54K right now, right? That would be about a 24% correction. So not only is the fractal playing out in terms of shape, it's also in the same time frame, right? It's playing out in the exact same time frame that our most recent fractal or pump and correction did. I also want to just deconstruct this one layer deeper and show you that the ABC correction that's happened. So we had our big pump, right? And in Elliott wave theory, you get an ABC correction or a 3-wave correction. You have the A, right? The initial capitulation, right? Then you have the bounce. The buyers come in and say, that's too cheap. That's too cheap. But they can't get enough momentum off of this dip to make a new all-time high. And then you get the C correction, the C wave. Well, that's exactly what we've seen within this fractal playing out. We had our A, right? We had our B, and now we've got our C. And our C could go down to 52.7K. I don't think it has to. I think we could find support and go higher. But I think down to 52, 50, 53K Bitcoin is fair game here. Completely fair game. Now, I also briefly want to touch on a couple altcoins and just simplify things for you guys. Where are we looking to buy altcoins? We want to buy altcoins when they look beat up, right? Like this looks like we're about to go into an alt season, but Cardano, which is a fundamentally sound project. Now I know it's not the most functional network right now, but people could not get enough Cardano down here when it was moving from 45 cents all the way up to $2.50. They couldn't get enough of it when it was moving from $1 to $3.50. Right? So what's it doing right now? 50% off. Now, you may not be the biggest Cardano fan, but when we buy, if we zoom out here, when we buy on this trend line, which Cardano is very, very close to its trend line, we eliminate a lot of risk, right? We don't want to buy Cardano up here at $2.40 when it's this overextended against its trend line. We want to buy it down here on the trend line. We want to buy it here on the trend line. And yes, is there still going to be risk that Cardano falls through its trend line and ends up getting outperformed by a bunch of other layer one solutions that are more functional? Sure. And that's why, we want to invest long-term on fundamentals. But if you're trading short-term, you're looking for a swing trade, buy on the trend line, not financial advice, right? We'll talk about AVAX. AVAX falling back down to its trend line that this very aggressive move has come up off of, right? Now, personally, I'm looking for an entry around $75 to $80. I might not get that entry, but AVAX has been so bullish lately. I want to see that 50% correction before I jump in. You might be thinking, Forrest, you're not going to need a 50% correction. Are you crazy? Not an AVAX. Well, a lot of these coins that have pumped really, really hard have given you 50% corrections, right? Look at Sandbox. Off of this latest pump to $3.42, it gave you a 40% correction, right? Off of its pump in January, it started pumping in January of this year, right? All the way up to 90 cents. It gave you back 84%, right? So I know it seems like a nonstop freight train. And yes, you can absolutely short-term trade this breakout, set your stop loss down here and trade all of this momentum. But if you're looking for a longer-term solution or a longer-term entry point, wait for it to come back down to the trend line, right? Wait for it to come back down to the trend line. Wait for it to give you a 40, 50% dip. Decentraland. You're thinking, well, I missed the Metaverse trade. It's not going to give me an entry point. And it might not for the next week or two, but eventually it's going to come down, right? Decentraland, pumped from 70 cents all the way to $5. You might thought, oh, I missed the trade. I missed it. Well, it gave you a 53% correction. Had you bought the 50% dip, you're already up 2x on your money right now, right? Look at the breakout trade. You could absolutely, Bill was talking about the breakout trade here on Decentraland. You could absolutely buy the breakout trade, right? Set your stop loss down here. Or I think Bill was saying you're just setting it at 325 right below this support here. Fantastic strategy. Very viable strategy. Now, could you get stopped out? Yes, there's always risk, right? But if you want to partake in these metaverse trades, you either trade the breakout or you wait for it to come back down to its trend line or at least a 50% correction so you can mitigate your risk. All right, so that's my segment today. The overarching theme here is beat the bull market by being disciplined with your entry points. Buy good projects at good entry points, either on the trend line or wait for a 50% correction. Wait for it to give you back 50% and bring your risk down by 50%. Get twice as much crypto for your money after it comes down 50%. All right, let's jump back to Ian and Bill.
All right, thank you, Forrest. All right, everybody, let's switch to a different segment. We are going to take your questions. I saw Immutable Sim asking, are Mana and Sandbox a buy right now? Well, we can't give you investment advice, but as Forrest was saying, if you get dips in good projects, that might be something to take advantage of. Or if you see a breakout, all right, you can go with it with a stop. So in the top coins, the solid coins, and the best fundamentals, that's where you shop, particularly if they wind up killing this market today. Now, one brief administrative note: if Token Metrics customers are having difficulty with the coupon code, you can email support@tokenmetrics.com to get assistance. We want to be there for you. Our guys are waiting to help you. All right. The coupon code is Happy B Day. Okay. Bravo Delta. Happy B Day 40. All right. Now, as we switch to our segment, I want to remind everybody we're going to be taking your questions and doing Crypto Showdown. But before we do that, I wanted to give our CEO, Ian Bellina, to do three things, actually. Give us an idea about the history of Token Metrics so you can meet the man behind this great company and meet the man behind the AI. Really? Okay. Because he's the guy who spearheaded the development, and he may even give you some stories about doing this live stream on Sunday, how it evolved, and most importantly, he may give you a hint about DAOs as the next narrative after the metaverse. Ian, take it away. Tell us a story.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Can you guys hear me? I think I'm muted.
We have you.
Producer. All right, great. Yeah, so thank you, Bill. Thank you, Forrest. Thank you to our crypto family. Hope you all had a great Black Friday, buying annual plans for Token Metrics. For those of you who've not been around since the beginning, this is our 2-year birthday, our 2-year anniversary. And man, we launched this in the bottom of a bear market when nobody wanted to touch altcoins at all. Now it's altcoin heaven. We have Metaverse Coins, we have DAOs, we have NFTs, we have Shiba Inu, we have everything going to the moon and beyond. But I mean, Token Metrics as a product has evolved every single month, every single quarter, every year because of you. You, our customer, you, our audience, giving us feedback. We strive on building the best product out there and want to make sure that you all have access to it. And that's why we have several plans. And we also have a big announcement to make. Beginning next month, we'll be making Token Metrics TV, TMTV, complimentary and free, not just to customers. We're making TMTV free to all our audience because we thought about this hard for a while, and we said our goal is to bring economic empowerment and financial freedom in crypto to the masses, to everybody. So by keeping our best content, our high quality content behind a paywall, didn't make any sense. So beginning next month, TMTV will be free, right? So meaning that we'll take that same content and post this on YouTube. So you start getting fresh new content every single day, 7 days a week on YouTube. That means not just getting clips from the live stream, getting fresh content, getting our best shows, the shows people have been paying for on YouTube. Because our goal is to build this YouTube channel to 1 million. So right now we're crossing 100K. Help us get there. And now we're onwards towards 1 million subs. We want this to be the biggest YouTube channel in all of crypto. So help us get there. We want to give you the best content available. And then for our customers, if you already bought TMTV, no worries. We'll give you a free refund, full value, no questions asked, right? And then we'll also make TMTV available to our customers for those who want to use it, right? Why use it over YouTube? Well, essentially, it's a better catalog of our content, right? And we know how YouTube has been with crypto channels. So who knows in the past if YouTube decides to ban crypto? Who knows, right? So being able to have our own archive is great. And then within a month or two, we also plan to have mobile applications for TMTV. So being able to watch basically our shows on Android and iOS. Think of this as our version of Netflix just for our customers, right? But the same content, regardless, will still be on YouTube because our goal is to make this available to our customers. So thank you for all the support. Thank you for everything. But we definitely do need your help to get to 1 million. The road to 1 million is tough. We think we can get there because, as you know, we like going to the moon and beyond. And as we know, the moon is not the limit, right? So definitely take this video, share this with all your friends everywhere on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, Telegram. And I mean, let's make this happen. Now, Bill, you also mentioned about the next narratives, right? So I do have a video on Moon Mission, which is my show on TMTV. I think we'll be posting that on YouTube as well. But last year, the narratives were DeFi, right? DeFi summer, DeFi hot summer. Then this year was NFTs, NFT summer. But essentially the whole year was NFT. Next year, in my opinion, I think it's DAOs. DAOs are the next big thing, right? I'm actually looking into the process of forming my own DAO, so stay tuned. We'll have more information once that is ready to go. We're taking inspiration from other DAOs out there, such as Metacartel Ventures, the Lao, and others working on the structure and how to form this. But stay tuned. If you're a customer, you'll be the first ones to know once we launch the DAO. But we think this is the evolution of crypto. DAOs break down barriers and take crypto really mainstream. Because DeFi is great for crypto, NFTs took crypto somewhat mainstream, same as Metaverse. But now I think DAOs are the holy grail because DAOs are basically tokenizing being social, being humans. Any hobby, any interest you have can be tokenized via a DAO. And I think that is going to be huge for the space. So stay tuned for that. Now back to you, Bill and Forrest.
All right, Ian, thanks a lot. So Token Metrics TV, Netflix for crypto. It's going to look nifty on your television and on your phone. We want you to stay with us on YouTube. Help us get through 100K. Be there when we explode. Now, if I may say, after getting done with Ian, let me give you a prediction because I'm in the prediction business. When the history of crypto gets written, from Ian Bellina's spreadsheets back in 2017, from the call on Matic and Helium, also my colleague Forrest and things that he does with TA and with margin pressure levels, here's the prediction. These two gentlemen that I work with are going to be remembered as two of the greatest crypto analysts ever. And I'm serious. And I've been in markets since 1991. So I think I'm a pretty good judge of who knows what. So when you stay with Token Metrics, you're staying with Ian Bellina, Forrest, and a whole crew of people behind them. So yes, it's a coupon day. Yes, we want your business. But I just wanted to let you know who you're investing with. Your subscription to Token Metrics isn't consumption like a pair of sneakers or a dinner out. It's an investment in you, and it's helping you share in the type of knowledge that people like Ian and Forrest want to impart to you so you can make money in crypto. All right, now I want to take a couple questions. I'm going to pull my deck back up. I know that people We're pretty pumped up looking for certain coins. All right. And we want to, take your questions and help you as best we can. So let me see if I can bring this up so I can give, some lucky winners that I happen to catch their questions. And I want to answer your questions before we dive into Menti. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Engine coin. Oops. Engine coin. Supported 370. Note the breakout and the return to prior resistance. Okay. So they hit it to 370 and they dipped it, stopped everybody out. And what did you do? Shop on stops. This should definitely be on your list. Starlink, very speculative, very choppy. Holding in at support around 631 without the zeros. Okay, a lot of upside potential if it can break out of the choppy range. Don't get married to a coin like this unless it shows up in our rankings. If it does, this sideways action can be a chance to get in. So we have not forgotten about those coins, and we have not forgotten about you. Ian, I'm sorry, you were saying something?
No, go ahead.
You're good. All right. Friends, Token Metrics customers that are having any issues signing up, support at tokenmetrics.com. Forrest, do we have anything for us on Menti?
Yeah, we do. We've got Crypto Showdown, followed by a little AMA action. Now, I did see a question in the live chat, though I want to answer really quick. Is Token Metrics hiring? Yes, we are. We also have a referral program to check out if you know anybody that may be a good candidate. So go over to tokenmetrics.com and check out the careers page. Now, top altcoin pick for December. Decentraland, Vulcan Forge, or AVAX. These are all metaverse plays. I want to hear all of our thoughts on these cryptos, but I also want to hear our viewers' thoughts. And we're gonna discuss these before we jump in to actually see which one's the winner of Crypto Showdown this week. But Bill, what's your pick here for December?
Okay, so let's go through the decision process. Decentraland is on Coinbase, right? So I don't know if people are looking at that as your dad's metaverse. I kind of think not. Vulcan Forge is a freight train, and AVAX is, I think, a monster waiting to happen. So I'm going to go with AVAX, but GHST, but I would not be surprised if Vulcan Forge took off. One of the smartest people I know at the retail level got in on that early. So I'm going to go with GHST and turn it back over to you.
Yeah, so speaking of Vulcan Forged, I'm probably talking to the same person. An employee at Token Metrics got their first 100x off of this coin. So, surround yourself with the right people. I like hanging out with people and working with people that are making 100x returns in this crypto market. I'm gonna take and this pains me to say because this would have been a 100x for me. I'm going to take Decentraland. I bought a lot of Decentraland at 3 cents back in 2019, and I did quite well on it. I got a 2.5x out of it. And then DeFi came along and stole the show, and I jumped into DeFi, and I did quite well on DeFi. But Decentraland lately, right, over $5, and we're talking getting in at 3 cents. This one's painful, but I'd say I'm going to go with Decentraland. And the reason why Decentraland is because what I learned from NFTs this year is that the blue chips seem to hold up a lot better than some of these smaller cryptocurrencies. Now, I will say this may be a bad decision because if we go over to the Token Metrics ratings, we've got AVAX over here with one of the highest TM grades. So I don't really want to fade the TM ratings, but this narrative is starting to get a little bit crazy, and I want to be in a blue chip project. Not to say AVAX isn't, but Decentraland and Sandbox are absolutely blue chip projects. So, Ian, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I mean, a very, very tough question. Let me actually pull up my screen here, producer. Can you guys see my screen?
Let me stop sharing. Yep, we can see yours.
All right, yeah. So as first mentioned, all these three surprisingly have high TM grades, right? So basically, our AI loves them on the daily and the weekly. Avalanche has an 89% for both weekly and daily, which is very, very rare. And then same thing, Vulcan Forged. So going to this, 88 and 88 on the weekly and the daily, right? And then going to Decentraland, same thing, daily and weekly, 84, 85. So if I had to go through this as a short-term trade, right? Short-term versus long-term. Long-term, I would pick Decentraland. I would say if I had to be very conservative, if I was expecting maybe a correction or a pullback in December, I'll go with Mana, Decentraland, because it has a huge market cap on Coinbase. So essentially less volatility, and Metaverse play right now is hot. I don't see that slowing down anytime soon. Then going to Vulcan Forged, this is basically $750 million market cap. And if we go to Avalanche, this has a market cap of basically 220 million, right? So as a short-term trade, looking for an altcoin with a low cap, I'll go for Avalanche. However, me personally, I'll be very cautious with this. This would be a very short-term trade. Basically, 2 weeks. If it's not working out, get out. Basically, using the TM grade. But Decentraland, I mean, that's a project we covered back in 2017. That was one of the few projects that came out in the first month of my ICO spreadsheet, which takes us back to those days. But I think Metaverse plays are very, very underrated because now crypto is turning into a whole new asset class. What does that mean? Right? Because in legacy markets, people build portfolios with different asset classes, right? From equities, stocks, to art, because art has a zero correlation with equities, to real estate, right? Imagine for the first time in crypto, we can now do the same thing with crypto. You can basically buy your crypto assets, your cryptocurrencies, and then buy art by having NFTs, and then buy virtual real estate in a metaverse, right? What if you could actually buy real estate in Mana or Sandbox and have no correlation to your actual crypto portfolio, right? So to me, I think this is one way to possibly weather the bear market. What if you buy land and you rent out that land and it earns yield for you? Because the theory is this: in a metaverse, if people are playing games in this metaverse and it goes mainstream, they may not care about the price of Ethereum. They may not care about the price of crypto. If gamers are playing these games and they have to buy the land, that could be extra yield for you. So in a way, it's a way to hedge and diversify your portfolio. So as a result of that, long term, I'm very bullish on Mana.
All right. Thank you, Ian. All right, Forrest, do you have the ability to sort of hit the button and see what the audience has told us via Menti?
Yep. Let me share my screen here, and it says press enter to show winner. Let's hope this works. And the winner is Avalanche. So Bill coming in clutch along with the token metrics ratings, the highest token metrics rating out of the three. Love to see it.
All right. Thank you, Forrest. Thank you, anybody out there, for participating. Okay, we are headed for 100K. I had an actual quick question for Ian. Ian, if we hit 100K, do we get acknowledged by YouTube itself?
Yes, we do. We'll get a plaque, a YouTube plaque. I do have one for my personal channel, but it'll be great to have one for the Tokenmetrics brand and the company. Thanks to the great work of Bill, Forrest, Henrique, our producer, Mario, Azim, the whole marketing team, the whole TMT family, and most important of all, you, our audience. Thank you for everything.
All right. Thank you, Ian. There's a particular guy in our company who used to play hockey, and I want to get that trophy, and I want to see him skate it like the cup. So for hockey players out there who have seen people skate the Stanley Cup, for the moment, that's our Stanley Cup. So I know this guy's helped us out on YouTube, and we want to get that trophy, and I want to get it, and I want to get it for him. All right, folks. Now, next up, let's talk about briefly, somebody's asking out there frantically for NABOX. I'm not going to show the chart exactly, okay? But I did look at it, and it looks like support is just below at 0.000279. So if that level holds, the next level I have above is 0.0005. All right. We want to help you. We want to answer your questions. And that's a great segue into Forrest. Forrest, tell us what you got on Menti.
Yeah, we've got a ton of questions coming in. It looks like we've got 19 questions. Guys, we're not going to be able to answer everyone's questions. Apologies for that. If they're about a specific token, that makes it even less likely that we're able to answer it, especially if it's not something that's getting asked a lot. This one, however, comes up a lot, especially lately. Hey, Token Metrics, hope your Thanksgiving was great. What is your opinion on time? That's Wonderland.money. Ian said DAOs are the next big thing. Thank you. I'll give you my opinion on it. I'm a little bit skeptical, not skeptical, I'm cautiously optimistic about this protocol-owned liquidity model that has come about with DeFi 2.0 that was really, that originated with Olympus DAO. In case you don't know, Time is the ticker symbol for Wonderland.money. Wonderland.money is an Olympus DAO fork that lives on the Avalanche blockchain. Now, the reason this is a big deal is because Olympus DAOs are difficult for the average retail investor to get involved with, because buying Olympus OHM tokens and then staking those OHM tokens and partaking in this DeFi protocol is very gas fee intensive. So if you just have a couple $100 that you're trying to invest with, Olympus DAO is probably not a good decision, because you're going to pay half of that in gas fees just to buy and stake it. But at AVAX, once you bridge your money over to the Avalanche layer 1 network, the chain, you can trade and buy time and stake time, just like with Olympus DAO over on Avalanche, and do so for a much cheaper gas cost. Ian and Bill, do you have any opinions on Wonderland money?
Well, for me, this is a very interesting thing where I want everybody to remember one thing. You get a lot of great yield. It's highly innovative. I think Ian could speak to that. The only thing I would remind you is you're giving someone your ETH. So if you're getting a huge APY, you're getting paid to take risk, and giving your ETH to somebody else, okay, especially if ETH can explode in the future, okay, is, that's the risk you're getting compensated for. Now, speaking of taking risk, okay, the guy who pretty much invented how to do it is Ian Bellina. So Ian, I know you're involved in this space. Is there anything you can tell us about things like Olympus or Time, et cetera?
Yeah, so I had a video on Moon Mission recently on this. I have basically gone through and done a deep audit on my portfolio and sold any crypto asset that's been underperforming in this bull market that has a TM grade under 70. And then I took most of that and put about 10, up to 10% of my portfolio into Olympus, and up to 5 to 8% of my portfolio into Avalanche, and then also up to 8% into Time Wonderland. Now, because I think right now we're going through a glitch in the matrix. This is the culmination of DeFi 2.0, protocol-owned liquidity. And out of all these other Olympus forks, I think Time Wonderland is the one that is positioned to do well and possibly even surpass Olympus DAO. Even though Olympus DAO is the first of a category, they're the innovator, I think the high gas fees on Ethereum's blockchain make it a challenge to a point where anybody, as crypto goes more mainstream, people with smaller portfolios who want to join this DeFi 2.0 movement, they have to go to other layer 1 protocols, right? And they have to go to the ones that have EVMs. And the ones I like with EVMs are Avalanche, Near, both of those would score pretty well. There are others as well, but I think Time Wonderland, based on our analysis, has an average of 80% on both fundamentals and code review. And for me, that makes it a better investment, not financial advice, than Climate DAO. The whole carbon credit things, I don't quite buy yet. But the fact that you can, in theory, right, go through, put in $1,000 and turn that to 80 grand in 1 year, that is incredible, right? To a point. The next question is, can this be sustained? Right now, yes. If you go into these protocols, right, it will show you on their dashboards the runway they have, right? So right now, Time Wonderland has a runway of 411 days. Right now, the APY may not stay the same like that forever, right? And the price also will fluctuate. But as a reserve currency, right now the price is 7,400, and the APY is 85,000%. So essentially, you're getting for time one line 850x, right? That is insane, right? To a point where I think it's worth the risk. I'm not saying go out there, sell your entire portfolio, and put in money you can't afford to lose. What I'm saying is take money you're comfortable losing, right? That's my perspective. I took what I'm comfortable losing in my portfolio, let's say 5%, and I put part of that into Time Wonderland. Then I took it 5 to 10% that I'm also comfortable losing and put that into Olympus stock. Right? Even though Olympus has a lower APY by factor of 10, I think it's a more conservative investment long term. However, I'm also hedging that with risk on Avalanche, right? This is the first time I've purchased a new layer one protocol that's not Ethereum or Helium network. So this is basically me hedging my Ethereum maximalism. Right? I'm basically getting off the maxi chair and seeing that Ethereum is now vulnerable, and it's possible that other blockchains are coming for it. Right? I was at Lisbon, Portugal for the Breakpoint conference for Solana, and there's a lot of money pouring into Solana. However, I think Avalanche right now has the edge because one, it's more undervalued. Two, they have a huge war chest. They raised over $300 million. And then four, they're EVM compatible, right? So all these apps being built on Ethereum with high gas fees, developers can quickly fork them and put them on the Avalanche blockchain. And I think that will be huge. I think basically Avalanche will eventually replace Binance Smart Chain because Binance Smart Chain is very centralized. And as a result of this, I think Avalanche to me has more upside. In addition to having a TM grade for both daily and weekly over 80%. So to me, Avalanche, very bullish on that going forward.
All right. Thank you, Ian. Just to jump in here quick, somebody was asking about, if I'm pronouncing it right, Cadena. It's consolidating just below support, $20.30. Very difficult trade. Okay. I know it moved from 2.5. So expect consolidation. That said, it takes out 20.3. It can go to 32. Okay. Now, again, are you FOMOing in, or do you know the case for this coin? I'll leave that up to you. One final thing, there is a difference between this YouTube channel and others. So I saw somebody ask, hey, Bill, you got perp and one other coin right, but I noticed there was a loser, right? It was even. This is where I learned a painful lesson about tokenomics. Okay. It looked good on the charts. It had a good story, but the tokenomics were no good. So it fell, and it's not tax advice, but when something goes really, goes down a lot, there's this idea of tax loss selling. And sometimes people on YouTube and Twitter just want to hear you say that you got one wrong. Where analysts were wrong, we want to get it right, which is why you should stay with us and hit that like and subscribe button. Because let me tell you something, folks. We have guys who know tokenomics. Forrest has a whole crew of people, okay? A whole crew of really smart people that are going to be bringing you altcoin picks, portfolios, and the like. So Forrest, back to you on Menti.
Thanks, Bill. Next question is, hi all, fantastic work you are all doing, and thanks for the quality information. My question is, what happens to those who already have a Token Metrics subscription? Do we still benefit from the discount? Now, I believe that discount is still applicable to upgrades. Ian, could you clarify for us?
Yes, yeah. So right now, if you're a customer, just email support@tokenmetrics.com, and basically they'll go through and manually upgrade your account. So, or rather, they would add the annual discount as an extension to your current account, right? So let's say your subscription will end in May, right? They'll basically just add an automatic renewal for 12 months at a 40% discount. That way you lock in the discount. So if you're a customer and would like to do that, make sure to contact support by either email or by the chat in the bottom of the corner. Now, with that being said, I do have to hop off, unfortunately. I have to get back to work. But thank you, Bill. Thank you, Forrest, and thank you to our customers. I'll see you next week. Take care.
All right. Thank you, Ian.
Thanks, Ian. All right. So our next question, and we've got time for a couple more here. Should we expect a crash anytime in December? And what is the best strategy to prepare for the crash if it is coming, and how to hold through the bear market? So that is a couple of complicated questions all bunched into one question. And there's a lot of different strategies that are going to depend on your risk level. So obviously nothing here is financial advice. And how I'd answer this question for one person is going to be totally different for the next person. It all depends on what's your personal financial situation. What are your goals within the space? What is your time horizon for investing? But let's just take it one piece at a time. Should we expect a crash anytime in December? Well, right now we're holding pretty strong on this trend line. So before we jump into whether or not we'll see a crash in December, I'd really like to see what develops over the next week or so. Right? If we continue to fall here, things could get ugly. But if we find support, like I believe that we will, and we start bouncing, it could be that December is a very, very good month, right? Last year, January was the month that the alt season kicked off. This year, maybe we're a month early, but we're at such a pivotal point right now with everything just resting on its trend line. Bitcoin coming back down to its trend line here. I want to see if we get support and if we get a bounce before I make a judgment call on whether or not we should expect a crash in December. What's the best strategy to prepare for the crash if it's coming? How do you hold through the bear market? Well, the best strategy to prepare for a crash is to make sure that you have stable coins on hand, that you have a strategy moving into a bear market of what you want to be investing in. So I personally like to keep at least 10% stable coins on hand at any given moment so that I can take advantage of a crash. Because yes, while crypto is going to crash or can crash 30, 40, 50% like it did back in May and June, right? If you had 10% stable coins to set aside and you're even comfortable with a little bit of leverage, you're able to buy that dip very aggressively, that 50% discount on crypto and more than a 50% discount on the total market, right? So that 10% that you buy on the dip is amplified 2, 3, 4, 5x because you've gotten this amazing entry point and your portfolio recovers much quicker this time around after you've bought that dip. And how do you hold through the bear market? Patience and conviction, right? If you've not taken profits on anything, right? I highly recommend, not financial advice, to continually take profits and pay yourself so that you can have those stablecoin allocations. But in the bear market, that's the time for value investing. That's the time when everybody's run out of crypto. But by run out of crypto, I mean is no longer in the space. They've given up on it. They've just said, "Oh, I'll just hold on to everything until the next bull market, and then I'll come back to the space." That's when you do your best investing, your best value investing, and that's when you can pick up stuff for very, very cheap, right? Bill, do you have anything to say on this?
Yes. So for December, I don't think it's going to be the best month for Bitcoin. I think there are mechanics related to the Bitcoin ETF that are going to just leave Bitcoin stalled. Everybody was calling for 100K Bitcoin by the end of the year. I actually told the news reporter that I brought my target down to say 75. The reporter thought that was like shocking because it was out of consensus. I just don't think the trade into the end of the year is in the traditional cryptos. I think it's actually going to be in the metaverse. That's where the late stage parabolic might be. Now, I know the C word is in there, crash. I see people asking in the comments for sushi and Ave. So we do see you out there. We are trying to help you out. And here's the facts, folks. In the gas riddled world of ETH DeFi, you have to ask yourself, what is the value of the ETH DeFi token like Sushi or Aave? Are there great projects? Are they great to use? Correct me if I'm wrong, but Aave, I think, is available on Avalanche now. But the question is, what's the value of the token? We were talking about the lessons I've learned in tokenomics. And I'm wondering if there's going to be a give-up trade in DeFi 1.0. In other words, the people are going to go, oh, wait, I thought this was a great investment. And then they go, oh, no, I have to tax loss sell this, or I own the wrong thing. Bull markets have pain trades, right? Bull markets are not parties. People can wind up wrong the long stuff. And all I can tell you is, about a December crash, it may be a situation where one sector goes up and another sector goes down. History repeats itself, okay? But it's not the same thing twice. And it would be painful if the thing that everyone can't get a hold of, like Metaverse Coins, winds up going up because it's all on Qcoin and DEXs, and the things that people do own, like DeFi blue chips, wind up going down. That may be the new definition of a crash. So sector rotation is new to crypto. It's been around forever in equities and bonds. So we want you to consider understanding the story and the tokenomics of what you own. I think the mega trend is honestly Metaverse up, okay? DeFi 1.0 down, just like don't laugh in 2004 when oil went from 50 to 140, it was oil stocks up, S&P down. Okay, end of laughing. Forrest, back to you.
All right, Bill, I think we've got time for one more question. Hi, we've seen meme coins rise. Now we see the metaverse trend. What's next that will pull retail money? So this is kind of the predict the future question, the question that everyone's wondering. Well, we talked about how next year could potentially be huge for DAOs. But one thing that I want to emphasize, and I'm going to go back over here to my Decentraland chart, is that these trends, or these narratives rather, they have multiple waves. We saw the first NFT wave all the way back towards the beginning of the year. Then we saw another NFT wave, and now we've seen Bored Apes go through the roof, right? The gains that have been had so far in Decentraland have been about 700% roughly from the bottom here in October, from the trend line. Now, look at the beginning of the year. The real trade, the 2,200% trade, was if you bought Decentraland January 1st. Even if you sold it when it was at $1.50, you've made more money in the first part of the year, the first wave, the first altcoin wave, than you have recently if you bought it at 71 cents and are now holding it at $5. Right? So these things have waves, and they cool down, they come back to their trend lines, and then the next wave happens. Right? So I know like meme coins I'm not recommending that people go and invest in meme coins, but we saw Shiba Inu have multiple waves. It blew up, it cooled down, it came all the way down again, and it blew up again. And now it's all the way 50, 60% off, right? So the narratives that we observe and we're talking about, they have multiple waves, and there's time to get in multiple waves, right? What you want to do is when Decentraland comes all the way back down to this trend line, right? And I'm not saying that it's going to be here by March. Maybe it's much higher. Maybe it goes all the way to $12 before coming back down to $4, $5, or $6. That's where you buy it. That's where you buy it, and you get ready for the next wave, the next big partnership that Decentraland or Sandbox announce, that the next big catalyst that causes the next wave to come in. So I think we kind of talked about the DAO thing coming up next year, but I wouldn't sleep on the existing trends that are just kind of sleeping right now. Bill, do you have anything on this last question before we wrap up?
Yes, friends, trends last longer than you think. This question is totally understandable. People are like, oh, I missed the metaverse trade. It's over. I need to move on to the next trade. Now with meme coins, I get it. I get the thinking, right? It sort of pumps in 10 or 12 or 15 days, and then it's done. I don't think the metaverse is like that. Why? Because you've got Facebook involved. Every time I see that Facebook commercial on American football games for metaverse, I go, don't underestimate this trend. Just like when China was growing at 10% per year and was buying all the oil on the planet back in the early 2000s, okay, Facebook is involved in the metaverse. So imagine what happens when Facebook starts coming out with announcements, news flow. Hey, we're getting involved, okay? Imagine people voting. right? They're going, well, if Facebook's doing this, I want to vote in the decentralized metaverse. Facebook announcements may create dips in the metaverse trade that allow you to get in. Look at this. I mean, last week, who would have expected this dip other than savvy traders like Forrest, who only buy on dips? So trends last longer than you think. They can be hard to stay on. So don't give up on existing trends just because you missed the first part of the trade. All right, Forrest, I think that's time to wrap it up. Friends, we thank you for being Token Metrics customers. We thank you for being Token Metrics viewers. Our support staff is standing by to help existing customers upgrade. Support at tokenmetrics.com. Other new people coming on in, come on in. Happy B-Day 40. Happy B-Day 40, okay, is the coupon code to get 40% off Token Metrics. I want to thank Forrest, and I want to thank everybody who works at Token Metrics. Happy holidays. Happy crypto trading. Stay with us. This is Bill Noble from Token Metrics. I will see you on Monday.